Hi, this is Joe and welcome back to the shop. We're going to do a little bit something different this week. Our family drinks a lot of tea, so we purchased these hot water boilers, and we're going to be doing a little preventative maintenance. We go through about one of these every year, and the major problem is the control circuit board usually gets steamed a lot, picks up a lot of mineral deposits, and then shorts out some of the contacts on the printed circuit board. If you look on the little plastic cover there, you'll see some rust deposits and some crud on the circuit board. Something that I'm going to do, the hot water boiler on the left is the old one, and it's about a year old. The one on the right is brand new, and just so happens that they are, I think, the same. They look like they're the same model. So what I'm going to do is take apart the new one, use the old one as an example. One thing that I really like that the newer ones have is they have plastic enclosures on over that enclose the printed circuit boards, which is really nice. Much better than the older models, which just left the printed circuit board exposed, and they really steamed up and corroded the circuit boards really bad. But in this particular case, because it's up near the top and steam rises, it still gets in there and cruds up the circuit board. So what I'm going to do on the new hot water boiler is I purchased some urethane conformal coating, and this is non-conductive polyurethane film. So I'm going to take apart the new one, and I'm going to expose the printed circuit board, and I'm going to spray several coats of the conformal coating on the actual the circuit side of this printed circuit board, and we'll let it set up, and then we'll reassemble the hot water pot, and hopefully we will get some longer use out of it. I've taken the cover off of the bottom circuit board, and I've looked at the back side, and it's nice and clean and shiny. There's no rust deposits either on the board or on the plastic container. So the steam, of course, always rises up. So I'm not going to disassemble the lower board on the new hot water boiler. We're just going to do the upper board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video for the time being, take apart the new hot water boiler. We'll expose the printed circuit board, and then I'll show you how I'm going to protect the circuit board with the conformal coating. So be right back. Hi, we're back. We've taken the bottom off of the new hot water boiler. To do that, there are 2 screws for a bottom cover, and then you very gently pry out the rotating ring. This is so you can rotate the hot water boiler on the counter. Underneath that, there's then two more screws that mount the outer stainless steel cover to the actual hot water boiler. So in order to get that off, there is the AC connector here. There's 2 screws here. You would remove those 2 screws, and there's 3 wires. I've taken on a piece of paper. The order of the wires is blue on the left, yellow in the middle, and red on the right. There's also a ground wire that you have to very gently take out with a 7mm wrench and a cross-point screwdriver. Okay. Then we can very gently lift the cover off the hot water boiler, and then the actual dispenser, there's a couple of plastic rings which connect on to the upper portion, and that just snaps in place. So what we do is we gently move that to the side. You can then see the plastic cover. Underneath the plastic cover will be the printed circuit board. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop that cover and then we'll get in and take a look at the printed circuit board. I'll do that off camera. Okay, as you can see, I popped off the plastic protective cover, and that encloses the printed circuit board. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to remove the board, because when I looked at the old one, I lifted and removed the board and looked underneath at the component side of the circuit board, and there was no corrosion, no rust, no mineral deposits on that side. And again, on the lower circuit board, there was no corrosion, rust, mineral deposits at all. So I'm not going to coat the lower board. I'm just going to coat the back side of the printed circuit board of the top board. And what I'm going to do is I have some blue masking tape, and I'm going to mask off everything around the circuit board, because I don't want to get any of the urethane coating on anything but the circuit board. So I'm going to tape and mask this off, and then I'll come back and then we'll spray the urethane conformal coating on the circuit board. We've taped off the area around the printed circuit board. I've also placed a piece of paper to cover up the dispensing portion of the hot water pot. The instructions on the urethane coating says that you can recoat within 48 hours. Tack-free, or dry time is 5 minutes to the touch. Tack-free is 15 to 30 minutes, and fully dry in 72 hours. If you're using something other than CRC urethane coating, I would follow their instructions. They recommend 2 coats, so what we're going to do is we're going to spray 1 coat, let it tack up to 5 minutes, and then we'll spray a 2nd coat, let it tack up, and then we'll reassemble. Let it set overnight before we put hot water in it, or put water in it and boil it. Give it a chance to really cure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a bit, and I'm going to take my fingers. I have latex gloves on, and we're going to move the wires. Okay, first coat. Now what I'm going to do is let it set 5 minutes to tack up. We'll come back and spray another coat. Hi, we're back. It's been about 20 minutes. I let it tack up a little bit longer because it was still a little tacky. So we're ready to spray the 2nd coat. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we'll let it tack up again, and then we'll remove the tape and the paper, and we'll start with the reassembly. We've waited another 20 minutes, and let's now start our reassembly. So let's put the protective cover back on to seal up the circuit board. Okay, and we'll now get the dispensing section snapped back in. Okay, and now let's get the outer shell put back on. Take our 3 wires. First of all, let's get these out of the way so we can get the ground on. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll fasten the ground up off camera. We'll come back and let's hitch up the AC connector. Let's start out with the blue wire. Blue wire goes on the left connector. And the yellow wire goes on the center connector. And the red wire goes on the right connector. That's being a little stubborn. I'll connect that up off camera. We'll come back and finish with the bottom. We have 2 screws with washers that go in the outside holes. We will fasten these on. Okay, then we have the rotating ring, and we gently put it back on and snap it around the, there's a little plastic retaining clip, and then all we have to do is take the bottom plate and fasten the 2 screws on that. Line up the 2 holes. Okay, there's the unit. We'll let this sit overnight for that conformal coating to cure a bit more, and then we're ready to use the hot water boiler. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe you can take advantage of doing this with your own hot water burner. Thanks a lot.